Operation Sunrise. The Office of Strategic Services was created by General William J. Donovan to gather intelligence in Europe and Asia, to train spies, and to provide equipment and communications as needed to the underground groups harassing the enemy in France, Italy, and the Balkans. OSS was an independent entity responsible only to the Chiefs of Staff and the President. The Italian headquarters was established in San Lucio, about 20 miles from Naples and only 2 miles from Caserta. Eager to leave Fort Story, Virginia, I was recruited into OSS in 1943 because I spoke fluent French. In July 1944, I went over as a cryptographer, first to Algiers, then later to Italy. The war was bitterly fought and the going was always hard, yard by yard. In the mountains, only mules could bring ammunition and food to the troops, and as the German supply lines got shorter, ours got longer and more treacherous. Snow, sleet, and incessant rains turned roads and fields to muddy swamps. The winter weather was always terrible, seriously interfering with Allied air missions. Kesselring, top German commander, had 21 divisions of hardened troops, including panzers and the famous Hermann Göring division. The Allies had only 14 regular infantry and artillery divisions, plus 4 armored divisions and air superiority. Meanwhile, OSS agents, with thousands of partisans, disrupted the Germans in every possible way. The partisans were armed underground groups fighting for the liberation of their country, supplied by OSS with arms, food, and dynamite. In early March 1945, an agent reported a rumor Field Marshal Kesselring wanted to collapse the front. It was hard to believe, but shortly verified. The excitement ran high, but secrecy was a major condition. We had hardly notified Washington headquarters when Hitler recalled Kesselring to Germany. Dejection was complete. It was a bitter blow. We figured Kesselring was through, that Hitler had heard of the plot, and the war would go on. General von Wiedinghoff was moved from the Balkans to Italy to take over. Incredibly, Wiedinghoff was ready to continue where Kesselring had left off. Astounding! OSS was to place 2 agents in the basement of Wiedinghoff's headquarters and start negotiations through OSS at once. Further astonishment, SS General Karl Wolff, governor of northern Italy, was going along. It was rare for an SS general to defect. My in-window was 3 feet square. I logged messages delivered from our radio room, distributed them to others to decode, and hand-decoded them myself as well, at 700 words an hour. Our agents' hand-encoded messages usually ran about 60 words. Now the messages got longer. Often Generals Nathan Twining and Mark Clark had their heads and shoulders stuck in my in-window telling me to hurry it up. I had never been so close to so many stars. It was unnerving. Von Wiedinghoff wanted silk stockings and lipstick for his girlfriend. We sent the request on to Washington. It was all getting a little crazy. Negotiations continued. Messages got longer. One of our great agents, Jimenez from New Mexico, had lived in northern Italy, passing as a Moor. He skied over the Alps to Switzerland several times to receive and deliver many messages and to guide negotiators. Through April, the meetings continued. Secrecy was tight. A ceasefire had to be coordinated so the killing on both sides could stop simultaneously with no mistakes. It was evident Germany had lost the war. Mussolini was shot and hanged by partisans on April 28th. On April 29th, the surrender was secretly signed at Caserta. Hitler committed suicide on April 30th. On May 2nd, the Italian campaign was officially over and Operation Sunrise was history. And it had been a wild 2 months. V-Day came 3 days later.